Hello.
Hey, hi.
Everybody had lunch?
Yes.
Anybody feeling sleepy?
Slightly.
So now we have a good session by Rahul Sharma, and the session is furniture flows, beach flows. So Rahul is agile expert, agile coach at Finasta, and he's into product development space for last 18 years. So now he's going to present our session. Yeah, over to you.
Okay, because I was thinking of taking a mic, but I think it's fine, right? So maybe if you can come in front because you're like scattered, so it will be a short group. We'll have a personalized session.
Let's go, Mike.
No, you have to. We'll have it.
Oh, okay. I think this is good.
Because we are recording the session, otherwise.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, I think mic is okay. All right. So I think let's start so that we don't lose time. So furniture meets flow. This is a story from COVID times. We have a lot of not so good stories from COVID times, but I think this is something which helped me learning something new. Okay, so let's see what it was. So a bit about me. This is about me. I'm a musician as well as I also like to be fit. So this is what I spend most of my time when I get away from my kids. So I'm playing ukulele for last 1 year. And before that, so I'm into music. That's my first love. Everyone, like even my wife knows it. So maybe I need to go. Yeah. Second place where I'm found is either at gym or at some field. So like my dream is like whenever I die, I want to die in a field, in a sports field. So this defines me, sports and music. That's it. So, however, I need to earn money, right? So I'm like although my title says expert agile coach, I feel not so expert. At Finasta, it's a fintech organization based in. So it was an Israeli brainchild, but now like a UK-based company based in Pune. They have offices in Pune and Bangalore. Yeah. Okay. So quick agenda. There are 2 points. One is so we will go through the story of this furniture making company and how we used some principles and practices to overcome the challenges that the company was facing at that point of time. And then after that, there's one more point we'll go through, and that is what could we do differently if it was 2025? Because in 2021, we didn't have AI, right? So how did we do things in 2021? And if we had AI, then how we could do things differently? So we'll go through that. So about the company Furniture Stop, I have tweaked the name. So ये कहानी real है, but कहानी के पात्र काल्पनिक है. क्योंकि at that point of time I was one of the consultants. So I mean it's not nice to take the company's name. So that's why. So the company name was Furniture Stop. Okay. It was a premium online furniture selling company. So they used to build like customized furnitures. And then they used to sell them. They had around 10,000 premium customers, and when I say premium customers, like hotels and guest houses, and so most of the businesses were their premium clients. Okay. It was run by people in South Africa and Netherlands. So there were two founders. One was based in South Africa. He was South African, and one was based in Netherlands, and he was a Dutch person. I think I need to point it towards this direction. All right. For some reason, when I'm looking at the laptop, then it is working. So I'm not sure. It's not in my eyes. It's here. So we were actually wondering. So in 2021, when they contacted us, right, that we are into furniture manufacturing, and we want some help from you. And we were a agile consulting, coaching, training company, right? So we thought, okay, let's talk about it. Why they have contacted us. So then we learned that for them, building a couch, bed, or side table, or anything was a project. So they were actually treating all those like creation of different kind of furniture. They were treating them as a project, okay, and their projects were getting delayed. So that was another reason. They heard that we are a project management consulting company, and we help companies to run their projects smoothly using. There's a new technique called agile, technique at that point of time. So that's why they actually contacted us. There was one more reason. A friend of Walter, Walter, again a Kalpanic name, I've changed the name. So Walter was one of the co-founders of that company. So he was a friend of our, Jim friend of our founder. And that's how they said, okay, they are into management consulting. And are you help in project management? Yes. Okay, I need some help. And that's how they came to know about us, and then that's how they contacted us. There was one more reason. Can you guess that reason? That they contacted us.
They heard agile as a buzzword and they thought
they just came to know about agile. So for them it was not even a buzzword. However, one more reason was so that I could be here today and sharing that experience with you. So yeah, so that was probably one of the reasons that they contacted us. All right. So initially we were
Sorry, what was your role? As in when you're saying they contacted you, what was your role?
Yeah, so I was an agile coach. So it was an agile coaching training company. So I used to work with. So our founder was a CST, if you know CST. So certified Scrum trainer, right? So all the CSTs they make their own company, and then when they grow, they create a coaching business as well. Right, and that's where they start hiring different agile coaches so that they can help more and more of their customers. And also what happens is because in training, they are trained, now those companies need help, right? So so I was one of the agile coaches at that company. So we were a small consulting firm, I was the third employee of the company. And then in total we were 7 people after that, right? So that was my role. It was my luck as well, because at that point of time I was free, and then someone else he was working with a bank. I was just finished with working with one insurance company, and then they came and I was like, wow, it's a good, it will be a good change for me, because same banking, same insurance, over the years, same problems, same type of people, same type of thinking, right? So that's why I think it was a good change for me. So I took it wholeheartedly. So there was an approach that we took. This approach usually I take in my whenever I start working with anyone. So find the problem statement. What are the challenges, right? Because before that, we used to concentrate on implementing agile. Wherever we work, like let's implement agile, right? What happens is when we do that, we are unable to connect with what is people's problem. What are the challenges that they are like facing right now? Because if we do not identify those challenges, if we do not hit those challenges, then whatever we do, right, people won't find value in it. So that is the reason, like we had to find, okay, I mean, what is the problem statement? What are their challenges? Then we identified the principles and practices that could help the team. So this is something that I have learned from long back from Agile Manifesto, right? Because when I was going through the history of Agile Manifesto, I came to know that those 17 delegates, right, signatories who went on that skiing resort and came up with this Agile Manifesto, it was their second meeting when they came up with this manifesto. In their first meeting, they wanted to understand that, okay, like, what are their challenges and how can they solve, right? Or how could they solve those challenges? What they agreed upon, they could not agree upon any of the solutions. Because different companies, different problems, right? However, what they agreed upon that there will be some commonalities in the principles and values that may help us in solving all those challenges. So only that thing may be common, and that's where they came up with those values and principles, right? So that's why I always think about, okay, what principles are going to help here, right? Let's think about practices even after that, right? And then we identify that, okay, what practices will help us in or will help this team to live those principles. Okay. Then we identified the need. That, okay, I mean, what are their needs? So in terms of, like, okay, these are their challenges. Now, do they need any training? Right? Because it should not come that, okay, I mean, because we earn, like when we are a training company, most of the money comes from training, right? We know it's a money-making cow. So, but we didn't want to be that, okay, I mean, no, you just do the training, right? So we needed to identify that, okay, I mean, these principles, these practices, are they aware of that or not? If they are not aware of it, then maybe we will need to teach them, right? So, like training, will they need some facilitation? Will they need some mentoring? So we had to identify, we wanted to identify that, okay, I mean, what is going to benefit them? Which competency will benefit them, right? Then we identified the tools that could help, right? Because there are different tools in market, right? A tool cannot make any company, cannot improve any company in their processes, right? Tools are just a mean to achieve what we want to achieve. So that's why we looked at the tools at the last, that, okay, I mean, what do we need? And then let's decide the tool. Did we choose the best tool? We don't know, but it was a good one, okay? And then we wanted to identify that, okay, what will be the ways that the company or the people will be able to measure the improvements? Because if we are making some changes, right, if we are changing the way how people work, we have to measure it, right? If we do not measure it, how would we come to know that, okay, I mean, is it working or not, right? So this was the approach that we took. This is usually approach that I still take, whichever organization is. This is the approach that, I mean, I still consider whenever I start working with any organization or any team. So we had to find existing challenges. Now, can you help me, like, if we have to find existing challenges in any team or any organization, what techniques can we use? Survey? Retrospectives? Yeah? Sorry? Interviews, right? Feedback, right? So we know it's, I mean, we didn't do anything different, right? So we use interviews and retrospectives, right? By the way, when we did interviews, it also helped us in building relationships. Because it is important that if we are starting working with someone, if we do not carry a relationship, people will be like, I mean, why should I listen to you? Who are you? Right? So that's why, I mean, those interviews actually helped us in building relationships with those people. There were a lot of challenges that they were facing. So through interviews and retrospective, what we came to know, there were delays in delivery, right? And they were missing exhibitions. Like how we have like our deadlines, right? I mean, there is a, customer visit, or we have to deliver something by some particular time. For them, the exhibitions are important. They are the events where they wait for. So I remember at that point of time, there was an exhibition that was coming, and they had to prepare a whole living room. And they paid for it. They paid for it. And actually, the items that they were planning to put in that living room, they could only fill half of the living room, what they planned. And that's where, that was a trigger that, I mean, like we have paid for it, for this event, and now we are not ready for it. Okay, so that was a triggering point where they were not happy. Especially the founder and co-founder were not at all happy. Chaotic workflows with no visibility. So things were happening. I remember they were using Monday.com at that point of time. So I remember their founder coming and saying that, I heard about this tool, so that's why, I mean, we just started using it, that it's a good project management tool. So they were using Monday.com at that point of time. However, still, their whole workflow was not there. They were just using as a, like, okay, we just have to manage our workflow. So they were not even aware about the workflow. Okay. So actually, I mean, visibility was not there. That was also one problem that we identified. Many products at the same time. So they were building a lot of products at the same time. So too many things at the same time. People were unable to concentrate on some few things, and then by when the actual event was coming, everything was in progress. So things were not getting finished. Basically missing deadlines. Although I do not like this word, I mean, deadline. It came from US, like, army. This word came into project management and from US army, like, because, I mean, can you believe, like, okay, if this is not done, like, who will be dead? Right? So, and blame games, of course. I mean, right, when there are problems, we have to find someone whom we can blame, right? So there were a lot of blame games that were playing its role at that point of time. And because of that, it was actually impacting their efficiency. Because we know that, like, happy people create happy products. If people are not happy, they won't be able to create, like, great products. So it was impacting their efficiency. It was also impacting their team morale, and ultimately it was impacting their reputation. Because can you imagine, like, they are at a at a event, and I mean, people come to see your living room, and half of the things are not there in the living room, right? So they were actually losing their reputation as well. So we try to identify the principles and practices that could help. Okay. So maybe if you can share, like, you have seen, like, what were their challenges, right? So any principles that you would have, like, suggested? Any principles that we could apply? Accountability in the culture. What else? Any practices, any principles? True. Sorry. So like maybe if you can name like any of the principle, right? Which principle we could apply here? We we have seen the challenges that they were facing, right? So based on your experience, anyone? 100%, 100%. So, okay, I think I need to look here so that it works. Visualize the flow, right? So that was the first principle we applied. Simplicity, keep it simple, visualize the flow, right? Limiting work in progress. Manage the flow, right? Because, I mean, when we talk about manage the flow, like where the delays are happening, right? Making policies explicit, right? So that if one thing has to move from one column to another column, what will be the policies on the, like what needs to happen first so that we can move something to the next column, right? Feedback loops and basically reflecting back and improve and evolve. Okay. Which principles are they, by the way? Kanban principles, right? So simply, simply applied the Kanban principles, right? Now, if we had to apply Kanban principles, we had to know that are they aware of those principles, right? And they were not. So we had to teach them first. So, we trained actually everyone, all the knowledge workers, not the people who were working like in factory, but at least the supervisor of the factory. Okay. So, what do you think? Was it a right decision to train all the knowledge workers?
Maybe it should be done to everyone, to the extent that they need, right? It's maybe not to probably explain everything. Someone who is working in close should be asked to do things differently.
True.
And obviously, someone who is a supervisor will have probably more of a systemic view. And but the person who is doing the job should also get some knowledge as to why they are asked to change their way.
True. Yeah.
So level 1 should be for all. And then level 2 should be for the selected ones. Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is that the challenge we face, right, when we go to our team and we say that we'll train them, and if we give them extensive training, right, and the thing is that the learning happens when you work, right? So you train the much which is applicable for that duration. Then you probably up the game, right? We cannot train everything, and then that person will probably absorb a lot of things, but probably not be able to retain. That's what my thought.
Yeah. So basically, we need to know that, okay, what kind of information would be important for what kind of person. Yeah. So, and that's why I mentioned here, like all the knowledge workers, right? And that's why. So initially, by the way, we did a mistake. We didn't include the supervisor of the showroom and supervisor of the factory. While they were playing a major role in this whole like workflow, right? So initially we didn't do that, and later we realized that these people are also there, so we need to actually teach them. So we didn't include them in the training. However, we had to do some teaching about the concepts, so that they could reflect on that. Okay, if we will be using these concepts or these principles, what will be the reasons, right? Because if we use any principles, any practices, any frameworks, if people do not understand the why behind it, right, we won't get that buy-in, right? And the moment we leave, everything will be left behind. Okay. So for that reason, training was important. Okay. So there were a few good things we did, few mistakes that we did, and then we had to rectify them. When we applied the principles, then let's see how it looked like. So if you see, so we created steps. That okay, I mean, please. So we actually we used to sit in a session, and it used to be actually an online session because COVID time. Thanks to COVID, and yeah, like think about when you get an idea that we want to build this particular type of furniture, right? So tell us the process from then. What happens, right? And that's how we created this. That okay, I mean, if you see creation of product vision checklist, right? Then sign off the designs, okay? And if you see, for each column, these are the steps, these are the actions that happens, and then these are the policies that we created. That okay, I mean, for a project, right? For example, if it is a L-shaped couch, a product vision checklist should be created collaboratively. Then only it can move in the next column. Okay. Now, let's have a look at it. Let's zoom in. Zoom out, not zoom in. So now you can see there are more columns. So like create prototype specifications, finalizing pricing with the suppliers, and then visualization of digital prototype designs. So actually, few of the, I mean, if you will see few of the column names, we were not even aware of like what they do in that. So I was facilitating this. I used to facilitate these sessions. So I used to facilitate as a stupid person. That I don't understand anything. I don't want to understand anything. It's fine. Just like share what you are doing, because the reason I didn't want to dictate anything, because I was not the right person to say anything on that. So I was just a facilitator. So they used to come up with that, okay, after this we do this step, right? And these are the actions, or these are the tasks that we do under this step, right? And for a couch or a bed to move to next step, these are the things that should be done. Then only we can move it to next column. Now if you zoom it out further, it looked like this. This was the whole workflow. It was actually 28 steps in the whole workflow. From the ideation phase, the moment when they get an idea that, okay, I mean, we want to build this particular type of furniture, and until like it is actually available, and they have taken feedback on it, on a prototype, right? Or like something has gone to market, or it has gone to their showroom, and they have received the feedback, okay, that if they want to build more or not. Okay. So let's have a look at it. I'll show you the actual Miro board so we used Miro at that point of time. I'll show you that board. So this was the actual board, and then what they did for each quarter they created they replicated this board, and let's zoom in. So what we did for each step, like whose responsibility is at that point of time for that particular column, and then you will see this. So because ultimately, if you remember, we wanted to know where the delays are happening. Okay, so that's why we added all those dates to know that at a particular step when a particular project, or when a particular furniture is going to each column. Okay, because we wanted to know the delays. So this was the actual board. Okay. Now, so basically what happens is, there are two types of time. One is like where the delays are happening, and one is when actual action is happening, when the actual work is happening, right? So how you calculate it is like total lead time. If in total lead time you remove the wait time from one column to another column, and that's how you can identify that okay, there was a delay. Because if something has to take, like for example 10 days to build something, it will take 10 days. But many a times what happens is it has to wait for some approval or something. So we wanted to know that, because that thing is something that we can reduce. So at that point of time it was manual, right? So when I'll speak about the challenges, then I'll talk about like this was one of the challenge. Now let me share this. I think it should work. Yeah. So what we changed actually, just by creating this view of their workflow, we visualize the flow using Miro. We also wanted to work on limiting work in progress. However, we could not solve it because they wanted to build multiple products at the same time, right? But at least we highlighted. Okay, so because what was happening, even if items were starting at different time, but what was happening, because a table may take less time, but a bed may take more time. So it was happening that like at some point of time there were a lot of items together in one column. Okay, so we could not solve it then. After that, like if they were able to solve, I don't know. But at least in that year, we could not solve that particular problem. However, we were able to manage flow by moving the product on Kanban board. So not moving the actual product, but at least, okay, so if this is couch, where it is sitting right now, so we could manage the flow. Because before that, there was no visibility. Where are we right now? And they had to ask people, okay, where is where is this furniture right now? Oh, with that person. Okay. So because even if Monday.com, they were using it, but we know in our organizations, we all are battling with this. Tools are there. People do not update things, right? So we made policies, explicit policies, so that helped us in identifying that, okay, what are the prerequisites, right? Because what happens is, as if everything is in air, right? People know in their mind, right? But when we created that view, it actually helped us in that, okay, what are the prerequisites? If this is not done, right? If this is not done, then it cannot move to the next column. And then we brought feedback loops as well. So for example, daily scrums, show and tell, where they used to actually show the actual product and get feedback. Okay. And then retrospectives. By the way, we started the journey with them with a retrospective. Sure, please. Which tool? Yeah, Kanban is just a method. It's not a tool, yeah. So, a good question. So, actually, what we wanted to do is, we wanted to just visualize the flow, right? And this was something, this was not something that we initially thought that it will be that big, right? It started with a small ideation. It started with a small ideation phase, and Monday.com is good for project management. However, when you have to get this kind of view where you want to, like the view that we created. Yeah. True. Any tool. Yeah. So one thing, no, 100%, no, very important. I mean, it's a discussion, right? So the problem is, if there are 28 steps in this whole process, right? We cannot reduce it actually because there are 28 steps, right? For example, from ideation, so there is not a single. If we remove that, it will take that particular process in between, right? And when we say visualize or flow, right? What is the easiest way to do? In progress, done, right? But when we say in progress, where is in progress, right? So that is the reason and that is where Kanban starts with, right? So visualize your full flow. Then after once you have visualized it, you can always look at that. Okay, I mean, if there is something, there are some redundancies, you can remove it, right? So you can definitely, I mean, if something can be reduced, it should be reduced.
What I feel now, what he's trying to actually share here is, in my limited understanding, is that flow would be one-time flow, because he's consulting, right? What Kanban, usually what we are doing is, or what we try to do on a weekly basis is, we're trying to organize into different kind of problem statements. So my question to you is, that flow that you must have made, those 28 steps, right? I don't think that would change often. You would have solutionized. Yeah, you would have solutionized and then stick to it, right?
Yeah.
So the purpose of Miro is very different than what you were suggesting. It's not an additional tool to the daily
Monday.com is a project management tool.
Yeah.
This is, we are not managing anything.
Solutionizing it.
It was just to make sure that people understand that like what is the workflow. So just in order to, because we are short in time, I think we can have more discussions. So sorry for that. So this is what we changed. The impact was that we had a visibility to end-to-end process so that the delays could be identified. Highlighted that team was building too many products at the same time. We could not solve it, but we highlighted that. Visibility of actual work time and wait time. And this is the reason it was important to break down work into smaller workflows. Visibility of prerequisites for each stage of work, quicker feedback loops or at cadence, and an opportunity to reflect, improve and evolve together. So now if it was 2021, actually it was 2021, we didn't have AI, right? A year of challenges. These were the challenges. Total time and efforts to create workflow. We had to spend almost 120 hours of, 7 people to create this workflow. It took a lot of time. Full dependency, there was a full dependency on manual intervention to update the board. And someone from the team had to continuously observe the board to identify the bottlenecks. If I was Walter and if it was 2025, Walter, I could Google, right? But I won't Google. Today's world, what do? We chat GPT, right? Even on Google, we search chat GPT. So I would have chat GPT or Copilot, okay? And usually, this was the first thing that I did when I was exploring it. So I just wrote, I am the owner of this furniture shop. We have an online presence as well as a store. We miss deadlines, miss to finish most of our projects. Our furniture items are most of the times delayed. So what must I do to improve? Interestingly, the first response that I got was this, which was actually the same that we tried to do, right? It had the same points. It asked like automate wherever possible, okay? When I searched for the tools, which tools I could use, so it gave me Trello plus Butler AI, Jira plus Atlassian Intelligence, and then Trello plus Trello Automation. So if I was Walter, what I would have done, I would have gone to one of the tools. Okay. So let's look at the tool itself. Okay. So I'm going to just do a quick demo. Okay. just a minute demo. I think it is visible. So let's go. Yeah. So on Trello, is it visible to everyone? So actually what I have done is, there are two things. One is if there are not so many movements on your board, right? It won't give you any suggestions. It will say like there are no movements on the board, right? So nothing. I mean, there's nothing to be automated, because automation should be used like when there are so many things, repetitive things, right? So here we have automation, right? And what we can do is we can actually create various rules. So if you see, I have created few rules here. Okay, this one is interesting. This one I have done through Butler. Okay, so for example, when a design document is uploaded, then send a communication that it is uploaded, right? So if you see, when an attachment is added to the card by anyone, post message, Annalie has uploaded the design document. Please have a look. To Slack channel. So I have created a Slack channel on my phone, and as soon as someone uploads a document, we get a message on the Slack that, okay, I mean, a document is uploaded, please check, right? Now, if you look at, maybe let's see this. So as soon as you move an item, right, to here, I think it's not showing because I changed the column names, right? So if you go on rules, and if I see existing rules, then in progress, see, I changed the column name, that's why it's not showing, right? So what when a card is moved into list in progress by anyone, any add member this person to the card. Okay, so there are so many things that we can use by using these tools. Okay, so if it was 2025, what I could get out of these tools is automating repetitive tasks, right? Enhancing productivity and saving timing by reducing the time spent on manual things. Improving workflow visibility, right? We actually looked at Trello as well at that point of time, but it was not that smart. So that's why we didn't use it. And reducing errors and miscommunication. Okay. And yay, I mean, we would have lost our client, because Walter could do everything on, would we lost our, I mean, do you think they would still need us? Someone to teach all these things, right? All the concepts, and run the journey, Shuhari, right? So my take on artificial intelligence is AI is the silent workforce that never sleeps. Making individuals and businesses smarter, faster, and more efficient. They need human beings. So thank you for your time, and we can have more conversations afterwards. So thank you for your time. Sure.
We deal with software, like in our financial cases, but this was unique because this is a software, and then eventually something created physically. Again, something gets cataloged online, and then so there is like steps where the handoff is happening between knowledge worker, factory worker, back to knowledge worker. How does this seamlessly go? Because knowledge workers are probably more attuned to going and updating stuff on the board.
True.
Whereas in the factory, you more interested in building things rather than having to now have an administrative task of going and even our developers are reluctant, right?
Yeah, I mean, even
coding update.
Exactly. So it is actually the same thing, and that's what when I said, like, we did a mistake, we didn't include these supervisors, right? And that was a mistake that we did. Right now, if you think about these delivery people, the delivery people that come to our doorsteps to deliver something, right? They're actually doing that manual work, right? Yes. But now they are being taught that, okay, I mean, as soon as you deliver something, you have to update it. it's when it becomes your habit. It's about habit, right? If it becomes your habit, and if it is in your working agreements, then it comes into like your overall process.
And more than that, I think another thing is that when the data analysis gets questioned, right, then maybe I delivered, I created so many furnitures, but I never updated. So to the management, it looks like you are spending 10 days doing it, whereas you did it on day one.
True.
Just that you did it. And when it starts questioning that,
Yeah.
then where probably there becomes more.
True. So all these things are actually dependent on habits. So if when people get into habits, then like these things become smoother, right? If people come to deliver something to us and if they don't mark it delivered, if they come to deliver something and they don't deliver it and mark it delivered, it has happened to me last week. So then like we are in problem. So yeah, it takes time.
Visualize the rating in between two actions, right?
So we didn't have wait time in our mind. Oh, sorry. We didn't have wait time in our mind at that point of time. So that is why it is important. Just concentrate on what you are doing at that point of time. So we just wanted to concentrate on visualizing the flow. So let's not think about when you are visualizing the flow. Let's not think about delays, because that will it create a biasness that okay, oh, this is where the delays are maybe.
So I mean, how do you visualize? Let's say very is what happens in this kind of scenario. I am done and you are waiting. Nobody knows because you are not visualizing it. So if I put something into another column, so I say that I am done. But you are not creating the pool. That is the reason. Right? Even if it looks like it is in my bucket, it is not in my bucket because you are not feeling it.
True.
You are not.
True.
So do you put any scenario where you have changed or introduced some extra?
Simple daily scrums. Daily scrums and
What is 28 shares
no,
sorry.
there were. Yeah, I think we
Sorry
are
to
done with the
interrupt, yeah.
timing. So, but we can continue the discussion later. So
Rahul
sorry
is
for
also
that.
Here, so he'll be there for tomorrow as well.
So we can discuss it later. Sorry for that. Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for the session, Rahul. And it was
Pleasure.
interactive, so everybody was participating into it. So it was great session.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I would like to invite Sushil to felicitate you.
Okay. Thank you for your precious time.